is Al Green. Okay, this is kind of a light, well, not really a lighthearted, but it is a more subtle intro into our stories today. The first of which is this. Al Green has proposed articles of impeachment against Donald Trump for a suggestion for ethnic cleansing in Gaza. So for anyone unaware, I have this actually out of order. So let's start with this. So for anyone who's unaware, Donald Trump proposed going in and relocating the people in Gaza. The issue with this is that we had a presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, who offered a two-state solution. There was something that would be kind of reasonable for both sides. It wasn't really extreme. And even this proposal kind of sent Susie Wiles, his Secretary of Staff, kind of spiraling like, wait a minute, what? I didn't sign up for this. And then even Bibi Netanyahu, or Netanyahu, I don't know if the Bibi is his name or not big on foreign affairs, ended up sitting there going, I didn't agree to that. As a matter of fact, I'll see if we can find it here real quick. Let me go ahead and search this real fast. Netanyahu, Gaza. See if we can find this real quick. Where's the videos? You can kind of see him. He's just smiling on this one. I'm trying to find. I can't find it. I don't want to waste too much time on this. Basically, Netanyahu was kind of like, I didn't really agree to that, but that's what this administration is looking into. So that, he's kind of like, we'll go through it. Yo, Cobra, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. So we've kind of had this thing going on right now where Netanyahu's kind of like, bro, we didn't really sign up for this, but sure, this sounds great. I'm getting what I wanted, right? Netanyahu's like, yo, you're going to give me the Gaza Strip? Bet. Well, the problem is that Donald Trump suggested even potentially putting boots on the ground in Gaza. Boots on the ground. Remember, the president who ran on no new wars, no foreign interference, America first. How is this putting America first? How? And so as such, anyways, we've come now to this point where Al Green, who is a representative from Houston, announced that he is going to be bringing articles of impeachment. Now, the issue with this is pretty obvious, right? Is it going to go anywhere? No. But I commend this. I actually commend this. And let me explain why. I am tired of Democrats just rolling over and going, guys, we can't do this. Listen, if we put the impeachment word out there, Republicans, we're going to lose credibility. No, do your own thing. Do your own tune. I am tired of Democrats trying to capitulate to the right. Run by your own rhythm. I've been very open about this. I've been very transparent about this. I don't believe that Donald Trump won the election because of some unique thing he had. I think Kamala Harris was far too moderate in her stances, right? If you were in another date and time, if we were talking about the 2012s or even 2008, she would be considered a Republican. I mean, it was that kind of a moderate. But because Donald Trump has shifted the Overton window so far right, she has now been she's still kind of left, if that makes sense. But anyways, so he enacted these articles of impeachment. It's probably not going to go very far. We'll see where it goes, but this was more symbolic than it was anything, and I commend him for it. So let's go to the next thing here. We have a reporter who asked Mike Johnson, is it an American first policy to send American soldiers into Gaza, one of the most volatile regions in the world? And Mike Johnson's reply was, the initial announcement yesterday, I think, was cheered by people all around the world. It was cheered by people all around the world. This announcement, by the way, from Donald Trump to do this measure was heavily criticized by numerous people on the right. It literally was the defining moment. I tell people this. There are certain moments that we look at in the Trump administration that kind of define whether or not you are MAGA. This left a lot of people stirring in the Republican base and MAGA base to go, where do I stand here? How do I spin this? And many people have said that this is now they finally got their PR together, and they're saying that this is a negotiation tactic. A negotiation tactic. You heard that right. So it's pretty crazy stuff. And so now we've got Mike Johnson saying The initial announcement yesterday, I think, was cheered by people all around the world. No, it was not cheered. It left people going, what did he just say? Keep in mind, Donald Trump has already advocated for going to Canada. He's already advocated for going into Mexico. He's already advocated for taking back the Panama Canal, which we will address later. I'll make sure of it. And he's also advocated for now taking Greenland and, of course, now Gaza. And, of course, we know that. Let's take a listen to what Jared Kushner thinks about this region. Let's take a listen to him. I'll crank this up for you guys. It's a little hard to hear.
Very valuable to if people would focus on kind of building up livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions. If that would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done? And so I think that it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up in Gaza's waterfront property.
So this was kind of the joke that was going around Twitter, by the way, which was Jared Kushner would love to get his waterfront property. And you could just imagine the big Trump Tower in the middle of this region. It is not hysterical, right? Because of the suffering and stuff that's been going on over there. And again, I try to stay away from this particular topic very much, but it's hysterical to see the Trump family going, yes, I've got another area that I can go ahead and develop, as if it's like a game of Monopoly. So there's that. And here it is here, Nancy Mace saying, let's turn Gaza into Mar-a-Lago. Mar-a-Lago. Nancy Mace has this very funny thing that she does, trying to stay relevant as much as she possibly can. Nancy Mace does this time and time again. She always does this. She will, if there is a camera around, she will make sure she's in front of it. She has very inconsistent principles, and she has changed things all the time. Now, I have anybody unaware, Nancy Mace walked around with, I believe this was Nancy Mace, walked around with the cast on because she was I think somebody like bumped into her or something like that, and then she like made a big scene about it and then put a cast on. This was the same person that walked around about men's bathrooms, things like that. She also went around just recently on a committee and was told, hey, she just said a slur in the hall of this committee. And she said, I don't care. And let's just say it rhymes with train. Okay, I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to get banned, but it rhymes with train. She sat there and continued to say that word 4 or 5 times. Okay, 4 or 5 times just so that she could put the camera on her. So next is we have this, which I think is hysterical. So we're going to get off of this topic for a little bit. We're going to move over to this next one. This person, this is about Joe Biggs. This has to do with J6. If I use TikTok terminology, please forgive me. This deals with Joe Biggs. Joe Biggs now, because he's been pardoned, he is now out about and trying to find a new place to live. And as such, he said, this person is refusing to rent to me over something the president has forgiven. And in the message you can see here, I would like to schedule a tour. Would any of these dates work for you? And someone said, are you Joe Biggs, the J6 guy? And he said, what? And someone reckless in this Twitter thread said, that's a huge lawsuit based on the Fair Housing Act, which prohibits discrimination. To be clear, this is not discrimination. This is the equivalent of me sitting there, going and smoking in a house that's being rented or things of that nature and being told to get the hell out. This is not discrimination. This is the fact that you did something and there are consequences for those actions, right? The bootstraps Republicans are finally learning and realizing that your actions have consequences, right? Your actions, what you do, have direct consequences. Maybe next time you ought to think before you do something crazy like this. So that was something that I saw that I thought was pretty interesting.